In the wise words of Milton Friedman, nothing is as permanent as a temporary government program. And let me tell you, immigration is no exception, especially the temporary foreign worker program. Ladies and gents, welcome back. My name's Clyde. If you're new here, the subscribe button is just down there. Go ahead and hit that. Make sure the notification bell is rung and hit the like. Let's get into this story. So the government is bringing in all kinds of new people. Now, is this a time to be bringing in all kinds of new people? We're in a time of economic downward spiral. Economists are predicting that we're going to lose about 100,000 jobs in the next short while. Largely due to industry leaving Canada because of tariffs that have come on, namely the steel tariffs, the aluminum tariffs. But we can't blame everything on tariffs, can we? Well, the news media will. That's absolutely right. CBC News reporting on this one. U.S. tariffs and growing population to blame for lack of summer jobs for youth. Expert says. They brought in an expert to tell you this one. Of course, it's the tariffs. The tariffs are taking away those entry-level positions all over the country. Wait a second. No, they're not. Tariffs are not stopping entry-level positions from being filled by teenagers. No, it's largely people that are coming in from foreign countries under the auspices of temporary worker programs that are actually subsidized by the government when these businesses hire temporary foreign workers. 30% of their wages get paid by the government. Isn't that fantastic? That's great. And what's it leading to? Well, it's leading to so many of them coming in. Marc Nixon actually explaining just how many are coming in.
Yes. 16 fully loaded to the brim 747 jetliners landing in Canada every single day. Each jetliner has 416 people. And guess what? All of them have one-way tickets. And if for some
one-way tickets, that's crazy. So he breaks it down. Here's the numbers. Canada, freezing economy, recession, jobs, poof, gone. Immigration exploding. Canada's immigration, 817,000 people in the last 4 months. That's first quarter of this year in Canada. I can't stress this enough. 817,000 people have entered our country to stay. And believe me, there's no temporary foreign workers that are, and we'll get into that have come here. They're happy to be temporary. There may be a couple working in some farmers' fields, but not the ones that are working at your local Tim Hortons. 491 of those were foreign work permits. So these are temporary work permits. Just imagine how many of them are going home. The mainstream media, crickets. I'm covering what they won't. I'll leave a link in the description down below. You can go check out Marc Nixon's video there. Also, he was tweeting about this, saying Canada brought nearly 500,000 temporary workers in the first 4 months of 2025. Nearly 500, 500,000 temporary foreign workers in 4 months. Meanwhile, 1.55 million Canadians are unemployed, and 60% of them haven't found work in over a year. WTF is the government thinking? Import labor while Canadians sit jobless. This is sabotage. It's absolutely insane. And when you look at the graph, it's crazy because I can't even fit the graph on the screen. Petrified COVID parent pointing this one out. Man, I wonder why housing is so unaffordable and why Canadian teenagers can't find jobs. It's a real head scratcher. Honestly, this is, of course, the chart for net international immigration from 1952 to 2025 in Canada. Really, I can't fit the thing on the screen. That is a hockey stick. It is just exponential growth. It's absolutely insane. And you wonder why we're having issues with housing, affordability, number of different aspects of societal life. This is just what we're going through. And this is the thing. A lot of people have been leaving these big cities to get away from these problems, but those problems are following. As Economic Woes on X points out, all of the people who left Ontario for greener pastures of Alberta are starting to get hooped. In this one, the silent depression is spreading fast across the land. This is outside of, what is this, Best Buy, where people are there just to buy, maybe it's not a Best Buy. What was it? It was something else. Anyway, huge lineup for people just begging for jobs. They just want a job at this big box store. Again, always entry-level positions. It's really where all these foreign workers are going, and they're going in spite of, you know, these employers wanting to pay Canadians because they don't get subsidized to pay Canadians, and this has become a big problem. And this is why you see stories like Canadians are not able to find summer jobs. The youth of Canada are not going to be able to get out there and get work experience and do things because, well, they've largely had this usurped. Now, the mainstream media, they're quiet. Maybe they just don't want to talk. No, they want to talk about it. In fact, they're saying, no, we need more. We want more. Let's make it even more. Riley pointing out Maclean's has published an article in Canada calling for more immigration. They're saying, let's do it. Canada is well on pace to hit 100 million Canadians by 2100. And that's a positive thing, they said. Canada rivals, keep immigration coming. To compete on the world stage, Canada needs more impoverished citizens to do menial tasks for hardly any money. That's what we need. We need more slave labor in this country. We don't have any industry. We're not competing with anybody. We're just a nation of, it's crazy. There's like this two-tiered nation now where you have boomers who have homes, a young generation that are looking to flock and go elsewhere. And you like, is this really the future that people want in Canada? Boomers who have this wealth because they bought houses early and they get served hand and foot by, I don't know, foreign slaves. Is that really where they're going with this? Now, of course, the Toronto Star is complaining about this type of thing, and they don't want these people to be held down by these jobs. So they're looking to open up their permits so that they don't have to tie their residency to a particular job. No. Just basically give them carte blanche to apply for any position in Canada. That is just craziness. That's insane. Now, of course, the Western Standard is pointing out that a lot of these temporary foreign workers, as they come in, they've been promised the fact that they're going to get to stay. And it looks like the tide's kind of changing on that, and Immigration Services is saying, no, these are temporary foreign worker permits. You're going to have to go home. And now what do? They protest because they want to stay. They were promised that they would be able to stay by the Liberal government and lawyers and all these other people. And this is the problem. Now, Rupa Subramanya is pointing out that this is a dangerous situation with this many young men getting angry. This could be a problem. She writes, many reasons to be concerned about the temporary foreign workers from India protesting to stay in Canada. A major concern is the presence of a large number of single men from northern India, a region known for its troubling rates of violence against women, something I've written quite extensively. This can become an issue here in Canada. Now, what's going to happen from this? Well, I'm not sure. Well, I really am not sure, but Canadians are really not getting the benefit out of all of this stuff. And if you look at it, I mean, what is it? The average Canadian pension recipient gets $1,200 a month after working for 50 years. A lot of these people, after the temporary worker permit runs out, they end up applying for refugee status, and there's an economic incentive absolutely to do that. And that would be the $3,874 a month you get for being here for only one day as soon as you're eligible for refugee status in the country. It is absolutely insane, and these numbers just keep growing. They get bigger and bigger all the time. Here's Kirk Lubimov pointing out, here are Mark Carney's Liberal plans for mass immigration in Canada, and it should alarm everyone. Temporary residents will be an extra 1,733,000. I mean, we're at 500,000 in the first quarter. Do you think that maybe this number might their projected number, it might get even bigger. This many people in 3 years, we've already gotten a quarter, more than a quarter of the way there in the first quarter of this year. That's crazy. So after 3 years, they're expecting to have almost 2 million people, and we'll start growing again in 2027. Permanent residents will be an extra 1,140,000, with growth in French speakers, mostly from sub-Sahara into small communities outside Quebec. Refugees will grow by 168,000 people because while we have record homelessness in Canada, we need to spend billions on housing foreigners. They are planning to replace over 2% of the Canadian population with foreigners every year. How long until Canada is no longer Canada? That is really the question at the end of the day. But I'd love to leave this one with you guys. What are your plans? What are your plans with this? It doesn't seem like it's going to slow down anytime soon. It doesn't look like the Liberal government has any plans to stop what they're doing. Now, there was a bunch of outreach. There's a lot of people raising a fuss after this news started getting pretty big. And what happened? Well, the Liberals started making moves before the last election to bring some of the numbers down. Just a spoiler on this. They brought down the projected increases. So when they say we brought it down by 25%, it was projected increases. If they were going to increase by 50,000 people per year, and they said we're bringing it down by 25%, well, that's just 25% of the 50,000 that we're going to increase on top of what they were already bringing in all the time. So be wary of any notices that they're bringing anything down by a percentage. Make sure you're listening to the actual words. The projected increases have come down, but then they came right back up right after this election, and they've increased exponentially. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments down below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.